So Gervonta Tank Davis hits out at Turki Alalshikh saying that he's not very good for boxing. And yeah, surprise, surprise that someone like Gervonta Tank Davis has said this. This is what he had to say for himself. They want to act like this guy good for boxing when he not good at shit. If so, why he not building the people where he from? This guy knows shit about boxing at all, and this is who they turning to. All the he says, yeah, made literally no sense what he's saying there either. But yeah, then he's saying why they didn't invite everybody, but they invited people they deal with. Fuck out of here. Yep. Little rat thinking he came up on something. In brackets, Eddie now tell them all to fight each other since they have a heavy roster. Yeah, let's be real. It's not a surprise seeing that Tank isn't happy with them not fighting. That he's not happy with Turki Alalshikh being in boxing. I think he's also trying to say that he wants them to put on. He said it. Well, why do you not building people where he's from? I mean, Muhammad Akil is one that Turki Alalsheikh's building up, and I'm sure that it's only going to increase as we go. Turki Alalsheikh trying to build up more prospects from Saudi Arabia. That's going to happen, and Turki Alalsheikh doesn't do everything perfect, but at the end of the day, he's putting on the fights that people want to see. He's paying fighters a lot of money for this as well. Something that Tank was because he's admitted himself that he's in boxing for the money, and I think it's clear for us fans all to see as well. Gervonta Tank Davis is not in boxing for legacy whatsoever. And look, it's a shame because I've been a big fan of Tank. I think Tank's got a good, entertaining style to watch. But at the end of the day, with how he goes about his business and the fights he takes, it's just difficult to be on his side, really. And he's gone after Turki Alalshikh here. I mean, why? I feel like Tank's one of the only top-level boxers who don't like Turki Alalshikh. I mean, it seemed at a point that Turki and Canelo weren't too fond of each other, but Canelo was invited to the Ring Magazine Awards, and they now seem like they're trying to put together the Canelo and Terence Crawford fight. So, yeah, Canelo's now on side with Turki Alalshikh. He's going to be a massive star for Turki Alalshikh because now Canelo wants to put on the fights that people want to see. He wants to put on that Crawford fight, then hopefully, that's if he does get through Crawford, we could see the Canelo versus David Benavidez fight, but that's also if Benavidez gets through David Morrell, and that's a tough ask in itself. So, yeah, Canelo wants to give the fights, make the fights that the fans want to see. Gervonta Tank Davis has made a career out of not wanting to do that. And that's why he's kind of losing fans at the end of the day. The guy's entertaining to watch. He can talk well on the mic. Not really on Twitter, though, if we're being real, from the tweet that I've just read. But, yeah, everyone else seems to like Turki Alalshikh. But Gervonta Tank Davis seems to have a big problem with him. Why is he not good for boxing, Gervonta? Is it because he's putting on the fights people want to see? He's putting the best versus the best, something that we haven't seen Gervonta Tank Davis do ever in his career. That's the frustrating thing about Tank. And, I have defended Tank. I do think his resume is slightly underrated. But we haven't seen him in the biggest fights possible apart from the Ryan Garcia fight. We want to see him in bigger fights at the end of the day. And it just seems like he's trying to avoid them. And this kind of proves the point as well that he's not happy with Turki Alalshikh in boxing, who wants the best to fight the best. And at the end of the day as well, taking this Lamont Roach fight, I just don't see why he's doing this. Why is he fighting Lamont Roach Jr.? Roach is a bloody weight below what Tank is. I mean, it makes no sense to fight. Why would Tank want to, fight someone um, who's a weight below him? Like, fight someone your own weight, or move up in weight and fight someone. Like, I don't get it at all. I just feel like everything with Tank right now is so strange. The Lamont Roach Jr. fight makes zero sense. There's no story there whatsoever either. Like, the fights we want to see for Tank, we want to see Lomachenko, and I know Lomachenko wants to take time out at the minute, but that's ideally a fight. And I mean, that's a fight that could have happened many times as well. People might say Loma Dutt, the most recent one, but that's because he wants to take time out. He's getting old now. He wants to take time out. He wants to, get his head straight. But, but let's be real, though. That fight could have happened many times before. Don't act like, they've only been fully talking about it once. People have wanted to see that fight for bloody God knows how long now. And it still hasn't bloody happened. And that's not just because of Lomachenko. The Shakur Stevenson fight, people want to see that. Shakur has said he wants the fight. Ben Sharif, we want to see him versus Tank. These fights aren't happening for Tank. And I feel like Tank seems to be a problem here. He does. Let's be real. And, as well, with the Ryan Garcia fight that Tank took, Ryan Garcia was weight drained in that fight. Tank had to, make everything be on his terms. Nothing was on Ryan Garcia's terms going into that fight against Tank. Everything had to be on Tank's terms. He got it how he wanted. So the fight wasn't fully on even playing fields. And let's be real, I wanted Tank to beat Ryan Garcia. So, I'm not saying this is a Tank hater. I've liked Tank. But he's just turning a lot of people against him. Not that he'll bloody care, but he's turning a lot of people against him, and he's making himself more and more dislikable. We want to see Tank versus Tio. We wanted to see Tank versus Haney. And if I'm being real, I don't really like Haney, but it seems to be Devin Haney mostly being the one trying to push for the fight against Gervonta Tank Davis at the end of the day. It was Haney mostly pushing for it, not Tank. Tank's fighting guys like Lamont Roach Jr., who's a champion in the weight class below him. No one wants to bloody see that. Then he's weight draining Ryan Garcia. I mean, yeah, why? It's just a shame. I mean, he's fought decent guys, but he's not fighting the elite guys. Tank's fought world-class fighters, not elite guys at the end of the day. Leo Santa Cruz, he's a good fighter, but he's not an elite guy where, it's a fight that everyone would love to see. Barrios, fair enough, good win for him. Pitbull, Pitbull's not fully elite if we're being real. He's a world-class guy, but Jose Valenzuela, made that win for Tank kind of downgrade a little bit if we're being real. Rolly's not elite whatsoever. Hector Luis Garcia, no. Ryan Garcia, yes, he was weight trained when he fought him, and Frank Martin's decent. But at the end of the day, Tank's not fighting the best. And it just makes you think as well. It's clear to see as well. Tank is picking his opponents. Tank cherry picks every single time he fights. He does. It's clear to see. He cherry picked Lamont Roach Jr. He did. He cherry picked Rowley. He's cherry picking a lot, and Tank's taking the fights that the less risk fights that he can get for the most amount of money possible. That's what Tank wants to do. If Turki Alalshikh was, if Gervonta Tank Davis was on side with Turki Alalshikh would be, giving him names such as Shakur, such as William Zepeda, such as Ben Sharif, such as Lomachenko, such as Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney. He'd be giving them those names. And I don't think Tank wants those fights at the end of the day. And, I feel like me and a lot of others have given Tank Davis the benefit of the doubt. But taking my head's a bloody mess. But taking the Lamont Roach Jr. fight and Yeah, I mean that's really telling you a lot. And now he's going up, and now he's going hitting out against Turki Alalshikh. It's it just tells you a lot you need to know, in my opinion. But yeah, there you go. And Tank's saying he's basically retiring at the end of the year as well, basically. So he does. Tank clearly doesn't want it. He clearly doesn't want it. His mind isn't in the game. He just wants to retire undefeated. Who knows who will fight after Lamont Roach Jr.? Who knows? But it's not going to be a guy who we want to see him fight. What is going on? My head's a mess like Tank's. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. It's a shame what's going on with Tank. We want to see him fight the best, but it's not happening. Anyway, thanks for watching.